Water has started flowing in some parts of Johannesburg after Rand Water completed its 58-hour planned outage in the city. Many areas in the city experienced low pressure or no water at all since the outage started on Tuesday. Now, whether that means water will be rushing out of taps first thing this morning remains to be seen, especially as the country is also grappling with stage 6 load shedding once again. Our reporter Nqobile Madlala is on the story, and she's with us in our studios today. And Nqobile, I imagine for a lot of people who didn't have water since Tuesday, that's the question top of mind. When will I start seeing this water coming out of my tap?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of them have not seen it. I mean, the South already has said that they haven't had water this morning. A lot of them were rushing out in the afternoon to try and get water from the tankers. I've been hearing from some people as well that they had to get it in various other places where they could get something just so that they can bath. We know that some of them have even gone as far as buying water so that they have drinkable water. But unfortunately, not everybody is going to get their water right now anyways. So what I'm hearing right now is that stage 6, this is how it affects you basically. So because you are on a schedule that is quite different to probably what I'm on, then what it means is that when your schedule kicks in, that affects the towers that are closer to you, the reservoirs that are closer to you. So when they pump the water up to the towers, remember most of the water comes from the towers down to the people, right? So now what happens is as you pump water up in this stage 6, for example, which means 4 hours and more of no power, that means that they're unable to then pump the water, which means the water that was in the towers is then depleted. Now then that puts you at no water level because all of that water that is in the towers is then sent out and there's no water that is replenished. So that becomes a major issue. But I am hearing that at this point there are conversations, there are meetings that are happening. They're trying to see if there is a way that they can actually get some power to ensure that these reservoirs are able to work so that there isn't any problems, because a lot of people have gone through a lot really.
Yeah, I mean, that's putting it mildly. You know, ironically, Rand Water had actually sent out a statement saying this project has actually exceeded expectation. 10 hours ahead of schedule is what they said. But now it seems that it's load shedding that may actually pull them a few steps back, at least when it comes to delivering that water finally to people's homes. Yes,
well, so you remember that when we spoke to the MMC, he did say that this maintenance becomes crucial because we have seen what has happened with Eskom when maintenance was not done. Now it becomes very crucial that they do this maintenance. So whilst bulk water supply, which is Rand Water, says this is good for them, it might not be good for someone who's then on the ground, because that person needs to see their water coming out of their taps. And Rand Water needs to supply to Joburg Water, and Joburg Water needs to then supply to your home, and Joburg Water needs to go through the reservoirs to the towers and back to you. So the process in itself is quite long, and then it becomes a major problem for then you, who is the end user. However, I mean, from the Rand Water point of view, it is something that is a success. They have said that they were having about 4 different projects that they were working on. All of it has gone right, and I mean, there's always been questions around dilapidation of the infrastructure, and we did ask her as well, the spokesperson, and she said this is not it, this is maintenance, and this is crucial, and they have a budget for this year to make sure that they have that maintenance ongoing. So whilst that maintenance is good for you, unfortunately might not be good for you at home.
Right.
I mean, we've spoken to a mother, for example, who had 4 children that she had to take care of it, and most of them are under the age of 6, which becomes very difficult when you have no water, because how do you take care of the family in that instance? However, she might have to wait a little longer because she also doesn't have water this morning.
Absolutely. Load shedding notwithstanding, has Rand Water come through very quickly, Nqobile, if you can, with any timeline around when they expect the system to stabilize at least?
Well, so Joburg Water needs to then come through and explain that to us. But I do know that there are conversations with the City Power that they're trying to have to see if there is power that they can maybe exempt in some way to try and sort of make sure that the reservoirs and the towers can fully function so that they're able to send the water back to you. But these are just conversations back in meetings. It will really depend on what can they do.
Absolutely. The maintenance is done, but the story is nowhere near over. Nqobile Madlala, thanks very much indeed for popping by, getting us a sense of what's taken place so far as we continue watching the story around replenishing some of your taps on the back of that major maintenance project carried out by Rand Water.